guys having an amazing afternoon, guys. So we're super excited to be launching a $1 million grant program that is for individuals who need to. There's several phases. Number one, for individuals who want to get their life, business, or other certification. The second phase is for individuals who need to revamp or rebrand their business so that they could pivot and come out of COVID more profitable than when they went in. The third phase of that is for individuals who want to build an online business. And the very, 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 very first phase is my current and former clients being eligible to get a $10,000 grant toward their second year or third year, depending on what level of coaching they're in with me, toward their current coaching program. So I'm here today with one of my current clients, Chanel Blackmore, and she is interviewing for her share of this $1 million grant. And one of the reasons we're interviewing is because each of these phases does have limits. So if you're interested in getting your share of this grant money to either be able to build or revamp your business, make sure you go to bit.ly/freewomen2020 and get on the list to get more information, because there are some things you need to do to be eligible. So, hey, Chanel, how are you today?
Hey, Coach, I'm good. You know, I'm over here sharing to all
Yes,
these
and
groups.
don't get your share on while I get my sip on.
I don't want anybody to miss out on this opportunity. You know, a lot of times we can be a little bit selfish with information like this, but when it comes to helping women and those business owners that look like me, I want to make sure that they get every opportunity to move not only their business forward, but move their life forward.
And let me tell you guys something. One of the things I subscribe to, and one of the reasons that my nonprofit is kicking off by giving away $1 million worth of grants, and that's $1 million in cohort profit that we are giving away, is because we want to do more than just say we about the business. We want to be about the business. We want to do something unprecedented. We want to do something that hasn't been heard of, and we want to leave our mark in really helping women to be able to build legacies and create generational wealth. So I'm super excited to be giving away these grants. A lot of companies have the capacity to do something more right now, but not everybody is. But I can't call out AT&T and Sprint and Verizon for not doing more if I don't do my part. So we are definitely doing our part. And I'm going to tell you, I don't do it for this reason, but I know that giving away $1 million, the Lord's going to give me 100 million. So when you do for others what you do for others, the Lord does for you. So congratulations, Chanel, on being selected for the interview phase for your grant. So I'm super excited about that. And I want to ask you some questions, because in the spirit of this grant, we want to make sure that everybody understands that this is about giving back. So if chosen to receive this grant, what will you do to make the world? How will you use your knowledge, education, certification, or whatever you receive to make the world a better place?
You know, I just shared earlier about all the big mamas. Hey, I am not ashamed to say that I would be proud to be a big mama. And what does a big mama do? A big mama wraps her arms around the younger ladies in the community. She gives them knowledge. She puts them on the right path. She invests in them emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes financially to help them get to where they need to be. And a lot of times we don't have a lot of big mamas that are left that care about the generation that's coming behind us. So one of the ways that I would use my knowledge is to impart into the next generation so that they don't have to hit the same road bumps that I hit. They can probably take a detour. I can encourage and enhance their path. And what I mean by that is, if I can make that wide path a little bit narrower for you so that you're not all over the place, that you can get to your goal quickly, efficiently, and without spending a whole lot of unnecessary money, that's what I want to do. I want to take those same experiences and knowledge that I will be getting and give it to them so that they could have a clear path. I think that's important.
I think that's important, and you're absolutely right. I remember the number of women that put their hands on me, from my auntie teaching me how to tie my shoes, and my aunt V teaching me to comb my hair, to my aunt, who we call Pawpaw, teaching me how to handle men, and my grandmother teaching me how to cook, and my mother teaching me how to love myself. I don't know who I would be without all of those women, and I don't know who I would be without the community of women that support me on a day-to-day basis. And I wish this for everyone. So at the end of the day, we have to take what we have and we have to pay it forward. So guys, if you haven't shared this broadcast, definitely share the broadcast, start a watch party. We need to get the word out that there is help. There is help for women to be able to build their businesses. Businesses don't have to struggle because of COVID. There's a program that you're going to be eligible for to receive a grant to rebrand your business. So there's so many opportunities out there. I want everybody to be aware of all of the opportunities that are available. So, one of the reasons we're doing this grant is because I want women to understand that this is a pay to play society. And that while there was a time where you could do things organically, there was a time where you didn't have to spend as much money to grow your business. Now, if you really want to compete, you have to be able to invest in your business. And one of the reasons I'm doing this grant is so women will have some extra revenue to do the things that matter. So if you're selected to receive this grant, what are some of the other things that you're going to use the money you would have spent on coaching to do in your business?
Oh my gosh, I was just about to say, I think most of my money is going into growing my business. I know that, I am not a digital master. That's why I have a coach who is a digital master and a marketing master. And I know that those funds need to go back into social media, Facebook ads, hiring some help. I'm going to let that rest because there's somebody watching me right now that needs to hire some help. So I know that the bulk of what I'm going to be doing is going to be positioning me to be successful. And positioning is important because you could just come out the gate and not be in the right position to move forward. Sometimes your position can make you move backwards, but that's why you have to have a clear strategy. And that's the other thing I'm going to be investing in, Coach, is strategy on how to get to my next level, because there are many levels to this thing. There's the $1,000 level when you make your first thousand, your first 100,000, your first million. I want to be in it for the long run. So I want to invest in my longevity. That's what I'm going to be using my funds for.
Absolutely. And guys, if you haven't already gotten your initial application in to get more information, go to bit.ly/freewomen2020. I can honestly tell you that at every level, you're going to need some help positioning you, and tickets to the next level are not free. This is a grant program, quite like a Pell Grant or another grant subsidy you would receive for college, with the exception of the essential workers and the first responders. There is some revenue you're going to have to come up with yourself, because again, this is a hand up and not a hand out. So if you're interested, bit.ly/freewomen2020. And, this is an opportunity for you not to have to spend all your money on strategy. And the things that you don't pay to learn, you don't do anything with them. And so with that being said, Chanel, because this is a hand up and not a handout, if you're selected, you're committed to a timely payment of the remainder of your tuition requirements. So what would you do to make sure that you're able to satisfy the requirements of the grant?
Well, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to apply what I learned. And I know that sounds crazy to some of you guys that's never done it, but if Coach tells me this is what you need to do to make this amount of revenue this week, I'm going to do it. And that way, if I'm generating the revenue, I can pour it back into my coaching, because that's part of my business. I don't want y'all to think that this grant is not a part of your business. It is a major part of your business. So we talked earlier about investing. So every dime that I get, a portion of it is going to go to satisfy this, because you can't sow and expect to reap. You can't not sow and expect to reap.
There you go.
If I'm not sowing, it take me a minute. If I'm not sowing into my next level, I can't expect to get there. So this remaining piece of this grant, my portion, I have to sow to that in order to get where I'm going next. So that's what I plan to do. I'm going to apply everything that you tell me to do, and every seed that I get back, I'm going to sow it to that remaining balance.
And speaking of sowing, this is not just about a financial sowing, because there are people who will sow financially but not do the work for whatever reason. So if you're watching and you're willing to do the work, go to bit.ly/freewomen2020 and put your interest in the hat now. But you have to be willing to put in the time that it takes to build a brand, to build a business. And with that being said, Chanel, what will you be doing to make sure that you don't just sow a financial seed in your business, that you sow a seed of time in making the time that you, I ask women all the time, how much time do you spend thinking about your business? And for those of you who know me, you know I'm borderline obsessive compulsive disorder when it comes to my business. There's always an idea. There's always the next level. There's always what's next. How much time, Chanel, and what are you going to be doing to make sure you have the time necessary you need to take your business to the next level?
So, Coach, I don't have to tell you about all the plates I spend. My wrists are skinny because I spend so many plates.
Right.
But I think that for me, hiring help is going to be key. Making sure that I have enough hands to help me keep the plate spinning so that I can focus on those strategies and things that you give me so that I can apply them to my business. So I got to get some help. Number one, I got to make sure that the help that I get is just as committed to their next level as I am to mine, that we're all working for the same goal and towards the same vision. So I'm definitely committed on in doing what I need to do time wise.
And that definitely brings me to the next question, which is, what, if anything, do you foresee will stop you from completing this process?
Okay, nothing stop me but me.
That's it.
The only way that I don't make it is if I trip over Chanel trying to get there. So I got to
And
make
then,
sure that my mindset is right.
and then making sure that when you trip over Chanel, you know enough about Chanel to get back up and to keep going, because we do fall.
Yeah.
We fall down, but we fall down, but we get up. Cause the saint is just a sinner who fell. They didn't stay there and got up. Sing it with me. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up.
Wow.
For a saint is just a sinner who fell
What? What did he
down.
do? What did he do?
But he didn't stay there. He
Hey!
got up. Girl, that used to be my song right there.
Crying all the way to work and back home.
Girl, yes. Yeah. I apologize, Chanel. In the middle of your interview, I had to do that.
Felt that thing.
I did. It came to me, guys. So, guys, the point being, we all fall down, and you just can't stay down. You got to get up. We all make mistakes. And so if you think you're somebody that's never going to make a mistake, this program is not for you. I read in a book, I think it's The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. He said that humans are the only animal that make a mistake and beat themselves up for days and days and days gone by about the mistake. If a monkey eat the wrong banana, he just ate the wrong banana. If he's swinging and he miss a limb, oh, well, he just bust his butt. But as humans, we tend to obsess over the mistake and compound that mistake instead of just getting up and doing, it again and saying, I'm going to do it better next time. So it's not about tripping over yourself. It's about not making the same mistakes
Right.
over and over, and then giving yourself the freedom to make mistakes. So, guys, if you want to apply to make sure you get your portion of this grant, and I want to stop real quick and ask, how many of you have texted at least 5 girlfriends and said, look, there's this $1 million grant program to help you build your business. Have you gotten your application in? Come go on this journey with me. Let's do this together. Let's hold each other accountable. Stop sitting there, like Verlin said, wishing and wanting, knowing that there's opportunities out here. You don't have to do what the news says. You don't have to be in at a poverty level because the news says. You don't have to be looking for food because the news says. You don't have to be unemployed because the news says that's what everybody else is doing. So sometimes we've got to take it upon ourselves to do something different. Um, so I don't even have to ask you the volunteer question. I don't, because one thing I can tell you about Chanel Blackmore is since I've known her, she's the first to raise her hand. Let me in, coach. She's the one that tells new recruits, girl, that's how I got to Indiana. I had to volunteer, I had to recruit, I had to do that, this, that, and the other. So for you guys out there, understand that the more you put your hands on, the more you learn. You can't sit in a classroom and learn how to write and never pick up a pen. You can't sit in a reading class and learn how to read and never pick up a book. Same with digital marketing. You're going to have to write some emails. You're going to have to set up some funnels. You're going to have to learn how to post on social media. There are just some things you're going to have to learn to do that you don't know right now. And as adults, sometimes learning becomes uncomfortable because you feel like I should know it all by now. But the truth is you don't. So the next question is, Chanel, how comfortable are you with receiving upfront and at times brutally honest, at times painfully honest feedback in front of a group? Because a lot of women say, oh, it's embarrassing, or, you should have pulled me to the side. But, to me, nobody in the group is above or beyond reproach. So how comfortable are you with getting the feedback if it's necessary to your next level?
In the words of my friend, dearly departed, ODB, baby, I like it raw. Give it to me. Tell me the truth. I would rather you tell me than to let me go out here, give birth to an ugly business that's not going to make any money, that nobody's going to buy from, that nobody's going to think that is credible. I would rather you tell me than to send me out with my drawers down, like my grandma say. Let me know I got toilet paper stuck to the bottom of my shoe, or that I pull my underwear up with my skirt tucked in. Don't let me be out there with my face dirty and you don't tell me. So I don't have a problem with it at all, and no one else should have a problem with it either. Like I said before, we as sisters should be the first one to tell each other that something's not right in love. In love. Now, that's all I have to say. I done caught many a brick, and I've been the better for it.
And that's another thing. Life has sugarcoated us into the poorhouse. And we have to realize that there's so many lies. Jobs are a lie. The economy is a lie. The unemployment rate is a lie. And until we have somebody to tell us the truth, and until we can wrap our mind around what the truth really is, and the truth really is you are where you are because you made some bad decisions. You are where you are because could nobody tell you nothing.
Yep.
You are where you are because at no point did you want to do differently bad enough to fight yourself. So this is definitely a course in no sugarcoating. Let's just say. And until you get to that point where you can absorb what's being told to you and it not be personal. And if anything, this may be the information that saves your life. You're going to have to hear it from somebody.
Coach, can I give them a word of advice?
Oh, absolutely.
I know that ain't part of the program. If you're a perfectionist, kill it now. If you think that ain't nothing that you can touch will be ugly, nothing you can, you put together, it's gonna be perfect all the time. You need to kill that spirit of perfectionism now. You can't grow if you're perfect. So if you feel like you're already perfect and you can't expand, you praying for the Lord to increase your borders. Well, you're gonna have to kill that spirit of perfectionism. It's not gonna allow you to grow. It's going to keep you broke, and it's gonna keep you frustrated. So that is not for you. If you're a perfectionist, y'all, first time coach told me something I came up with was ugly, I was like,
you ain't got to keep telling the people that part.
I ain't never coming back to this class until I looked at it. I said, well, you know what? It might not be the best idea. But I'm glad, because you don't want to pour years into something that's not going to work. That's crazy. And then if you could have launched your own $1 million business, you'd have done it by now. You need some help.
Mr. Ray said, you said you weren't going back to class no more. Ms. Ray said, I told her, yes, you are. And your fan club today, Jamie Hopkins said, honey, I would rather be embarrassed and wealthy than prideful and broke. And so at some point, we got to get over our pride. I don't know what makes people think that I want to do all the things that I have to do to be successful. The mass majority of them, I don't want to do, but it's a choice. It's a choice to either do this and feed my family, do this and be able to provide for my family, or don't do it and struggle. And I, frankly, I retired from the struggle bus. I don't want another ticket on struggle bus metro. I'd rather walk than get on the struggle bus. You hear me? So guys, if you haven't already gotten your interest in for the grant program, what are you waiting for? bit.ly/freewomen2020. Once you put in your application, we're going to invite you to an informational session on Friday. This is an amazing opportunity to free yourself. Yep, Nicole, one of the 4 agreements, don't take anything personal. This is not personal at all. You got to look at, why is God sending me this message right now? What is God trying to tell me? And if you spend so much time in frustration and anger and pride, you're going to miss the message. Stop missing the message, because your life won't change unless you catch it. So Chanel, thank you so much for your interview today. And we appreciate you and everything you do for the brand. And guys, again, if you want to get your application in, go to bit.ly/freewomen2020. Is there anything you want to say in closing as to why we should select you, Ms. Blackmore?
Well,
other than if you don't get selected, you're going to lay in the floor.
Right. As long as you know that. Look, that's the benediction. I'm like a nut. But no, I think what I want everybody to know is that this is a real opportunity. This is a real opportunity. And you have to make sure you are maximizing every opportunity that comes to you. And some things you just don't need to pray about. I'm sorry, don't y'all inbox me. Some things you don't need to pray about. Some things require action.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Stop blaming Jesus and the Lord for your lack of action.
Oh, that's good. The cloud and moved on. You the one standing in the sun.
Exactly.
That's all I have, Coach.
Yep, bit.ly/freewomen2020. Guys, we're going to continue with interviews this afternoon, so stop back by. And again, we'll have an information session every Friday until June 2nd, May 29th is the last session. So get your name in the hat and look for more information from the team, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.